Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. It is my pleasure to have with me Mr. Ed Terranova, one of our master trainers. My name is Jermey Jenkins. I'm one of the master members of RNetwork. And today we've got some really cool stuff for you guys. We're going to talk a little bit about how to get started. Now that we are in this soft launch moment, right? We have just a few more weeks where we get to take advantage of the special promotion, getting the $30 off if you put the revvcard code in there and all that. We want to make sure that you guys are maximizing this time, taking advantage of it. Don't squander it, because as of June 6th, that code, it was extended. June 15th, that code will no longer work. And so you want to make sure that you get as many people in as you can with that. So with that, Ed, what do you got for us?
Hey guys, I'm really excited about today. You know, Jeremy and I have been going back and forth. We've worked together in the past, and we work together real well. And so I'm so thrilled, Jeremy, because I've watched you be probably the most consistent professional that I've ever seen. I mean, you are consistently there every week. You're providing great content, great information. You're always optimistic. You're always got the proper, perspective as to where things are at. So now with RNetwork, man, I can't wait till we tear this up, because like most people, we're so thrilled and excited to have this incredible product, this incredible comp plan. And I keep saying that, and I'll continue to say this. This is the best product and the best comp plan I've ever seen in my 30 years. And you and I have gone back and forth, and fortunately, together we've been able to influence Richard a little bit, and Richard got ideas, and we incorporated them, right? And man, I couldn't think of anything better than this. So we're not going to sell people on the opportunity. Everybody, you're in, right? You're a charter member. Now what we want you to do is we really want you to get laser focused and achieve. We want you to perform at the highest level you've ever performed at. We want you to achieve more than you've ever achieved before. And so we're going to do a little fast start training today, and Jeremy and I are going to bounce back and forth. I've prepared a little bit of I'm not as talented as Jeremy when it comes to creating material. I'm going to tell you, Jeremy, I saw some of the stuff you're working on, and it's just amazing. But I could turn this stuff that we're going to go over today, that's kind of raw in visual effects, but I could turn it over to somebody who's talented, but you're going to get the nuts and bolts. So I created a PowerPoint. It's been a little while, Jeremy, since I've created a PowerPoint, by the way. So you tell me, you can critique me. So here we are, and there's the PowerPoint. And so I'm going to open this up now. We're going to share it. Right into full screen. So, before we get started, whoops, we got to go. We're going to call this a 72-hour fast start, and don't be scared by 72 hours. That doesn't mean you have to work for 72 hours straight. That means that when a new person gets started, right? Somebody just signed up, they saw the video, it makes sense. They just became a charter member, and they're wondering, hey, what's the next step? What do we do? And so, if you really want to maximize this comp plan, and Jeremy, I just want your affirmation on this. How people get started is very important. So goes the leader, so goes the pack. If you start out fast, that tends to generate excitement to the people that you're working with. Is that not true, Jeremy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You got to hit it hard and furious. You got to, be the person, right? Everyone, oh, he's the guy. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what I always like to say is fast is fun and slow is painful. You want to be fast. When you first get started, you want to set an objective. You want to set some goals. You want to go about things. So we're going to kind of prepare you on a basic level right now. And then we're going to get into some detail. So in network marketing, a lot of people talk about you have your warm market and your cold market. But in reality, there are 4 different markets. There's your hot market. And your hot market is the people that know you, like you, trust you, and you communicate with on a regular basis, right? This is your hot market. These are people you could influence. These are the people your phone rings, their phone rings. You're talking every day. And it's kind of like your best friends. And everybody's got 10, 15, 20 best friends. There are a few people in the world that actually are so charismatic and and so have such incredible ability that they have a network of dozens and even hundreds, but that's rare. I mean, even for somebody like myself, we all have our 10, 15, 20, best friends for the most part. And so that's your hot market. Then your warm market is what everybody thinks about, right? Your warm market are people that they know you. You could have a warm market contact that you haven't spoken to in 30 years. But when you're in high school, you were best buds, right? You used to hang out together. You did a lot of stuff together. That's your warm market. And then there's what I call your lukewarm market. Your lukewarm market are people that you know them, they know you. You might have been in the same circles at times. You might even said hello. You might have hung out, but you never really spent quality time with them, right? You never really spent that alone time where you connected. But you're friends. You know each other. You've played ball together. You went to school together. You worked together. That's it. That's your lukewarm market. And then there's your cold market. Now, when you first get started, you do not ever want to not allow your hot market to be aware of what's going on. And with your hot market, some of them, are going to say no, they're not interested at all. But the way in which I approach it is, look, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you about this. I'm pretty excited about something. I just want you to watch a 2-minute video. Tell me no. Please do me a favor. Tell me no. Say, no, I'm not interested. Say, that's stupid, whatever. But I owe it to you to introduce you to what I'm getting ready to do, because I think it's really special. And it's a little 2-minute video. And by the way, if you like what you see, and I think that you might, then we take the next step. I'll get you more information. But do I have enough credibility with you to just take a look at a 2-minute video? And everybody's going to say yes. That's a hot market. Add to that hot market just getting it off your shoulders, getting it out of the way. Now, some of them are going to be entrepreneurial. Some of them are going to be people that you can't wait to see. But what you have to do in your first 72 hours is you got to make your top 20 list. This is your hot market. You got to hit your hot market, show them it real quick, then jump into your warm market. Because that's where, believe it or not, in your hot market, you might just get your 10 in the pen in your hot market. But you don't want to wait. You want to go about it real rapidly, and we're going to give you a systematic approach in just a second. And so here's what I want you to know. In network marketing, what I've seen throughout the years is that I've been really fortunate and blessed, and I always pray and ask for the Lord to lead me and to guide me and to show me the way, to give me the words to say, to speak from my heart to your heart, right? And so when I first started in network marketing, I was not very successful real fast. Matter of fact, I was abysmally a failure, right? But I kept trying. I kept going to meetings. I really wasn't doing the business. I didn't know how to do the business. And I kind of learned these 3 basic fundamentals as I went along. I studied the successful people. I started to do what they were doing. I'm going to give you some insights today into some incredible stuff. I'm going to tell you some stories about how I discovered what I'm about to share with you. And it's been, for me, it's been a blessing. And I want to share that blessing with you. If we could come out of this day, every time you go into a training like this, your attitude should be, I'm going to learn something here today. I'm going to learn something. I'm going to implement it. By the way, you should have a pen and paper handy. You should be writing this stuff down. You should just be looking at the screen right now, because here's what happens. How fast you retain things and how fast you absorb them depend on how many senses that you engage in the process. See, right now you're listening and you're seeing the words. You got 2 senses right there. If you start to write them down using touch, you got 3 senses right there. And when you start to explain this to people, what I'm teaching you right now, that's the 4th sense, right? You're actually speaking it. So if you use your eyes, your ears, your mouth, and your touch, you're engaging 4 of your senses and your retention goes way up. But if you're just sitting there like a couch potato being entertained right now, you're not going to retain as much. If you really want to retain information, you want to take notes. I'm going to tell a story in a little bit about how I took a cassette tape to a meeting that totally changed everything for me. It was the prayers before the meeting. It was getting on my knees and crying like a baby because my wife wanted me to quit and kind of gave me an ultimatum that was incredible. And my dad didn't raise a quitter, and I was in a real bad quagmire at the time. But I prayed. I ended up going to a meeting. So what the heck? I'll share this. I'll share the story with you now. So here's what happened. I was involved in this company. That was my first network marketing experience. When I joined, I was 28 years of age, and it was 1989, February of 1989. And after about 9 months, and at the time, by the way, I had a video production business. I was partners with my mom and dad and my sister. We owned a catering hall and a restaurant, and I was working all kinds of hours. And my friend Vinny, who was in the concrete business, calls me up and starts telling me he's got something I got to see, and it's this skincare company. And I'm like, Vinny, you want to be a Mary Kay lady? Are you nuts? No way, you know. He's like, no, Ed, you're a college graduate, you're intelligent, it's network marketing. It's like, you know, you get people and they get people. And I said, you mean like a pyramid scheme? And he's going, no, Ed, this is legitimate. And he just kept going and going and going. He didn't know what he was doing. He just got started, and he dragged me essentially to a meeting. And at that meeting, I joined that company. I met people. I heard stories. I saw people making 10, 20, 30,000 a month. I was going to meetings, but I wasn't doing the basic fundamentals I'm going to go over with you right now. I wasn't doing the things. And what happened was I had a video production business. I videotaped the wedding of a couple, and the husband worked in a dental lab, and they joined my skincare business, right? And he said, hey, I got this guy, Ed, he's the best salesman in the world. You know, you got to talk to him. So I called the guy up, and he lived out in Long Island. I lived in Staten Island, and it was about an hour and a half drive. And there was a meeting going on right near his house. So I called him up. He said, okay, I'll meet you at the meeting. I went to the meeting. He didn't show up. I drove by myself an hour and a half. He didn't show up, went to the meeting, came back, called him up. He apologized. And it so turned out we had a big shot coming into town at that same hotel in Huntington, Long Island. And he said, yeah, I'll be there. So this big shot, who at the time was making about $40,000 a month in the company, was there. So I went there, and I'm pacing the floors. You know, if you've ever been at a meeting and you're doing this, you know, we would call this the RNetwork salute, right? You're looking for them. Where are they? Where are they? They're not here. They told me they were going to be here. They didn't show up, right? The guy didn't show up again. Now I'm pissed. I drove an hour and a half. I know what the business is. I don't need to sit here. But guess what? I did. I learned that, you know, the front row is the $1 million seats. So not only did I go to that meeting to bring a prospect and hopefully get them into business, but I went there to learn. And that's the attitude you have to have the attitude to learn. So at the time I had a cassette tape, and I recorded, and this guy did what he called the 8 steps to success. And I'll just tell you one of the steps, and it changed my life. He said, one of the steps is show the plan, show the plan, show the plan, show the plan. He said, if you're not showing this business model to at least 3 to 5 people a week, you're kidding yourself. Boom! That hit me like a brick. I wasn't showing it. I was running around like a chicken without a head on, but I wasn't showing the business to 3 to 5 people a week. And it just, bang, the light bulb went off. Back then we had these videotapes. So then I learned how to set goals. And we're going to go into this stuff now. Then I learned how to set goals. And I learned how to write them down. And I learned how to get the exposures in the marketplace. Now, for us, 3 to 5 exposures of this 2-minute video is nothing. You should be doing that every day, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about this later, but you really should be setting a goal for about 5 to 10 exposures a day. But so this is what I learned when I was in that company. I learned there's 3 basic fundamentals. And the fundamentals are, number 1, set your goals. And goal setting is, believe it or not, a natural thing for people, but believe it or not, most people don't do it. It's like you'll hear me over and over again quote Zig Ziglar. Zig used to say, people plan more for their vacation than they do for their life. He says, just think about it. The day before you go on vacation, what do? The day before you're going to go on a vacation, you're writing down everything that needs to get done before you go, right? Got to stop the mail. Got to pick up the clothes at the dry cleaner. Got to get my hair cut. Got to do this. Got to do that. Got to do all these other things. You make this to-do list and you get it done that day, right? That's goal setting. But people don't do that when it comes down to your life. People don't do. They join a network marketing company. They get excited. Man, I'm going to make $1 million. And they think just by joining, they'll become a millionaire. No, it takes work. Look at the screen. RNetwork. It takes work. That's why the word work is there. It takes work. And our work, our job to build a network. We're building a network. We're building our network. In order to build our network, we got to talk. We got to tell people about it. We have to introduce it to other people. That's our job. As a matter of fact, there's a whole bunch of skills that we could go over. We could go about the art of promotion. We could talk about training. We could talk about presentation skills. We could talk about all the skills. The number one skill that you have to master is you have to master the skill of inviting people to look at the information. That's it. That's all our job is. And here's a clue. The less information, the better. See, you have to go fishing and throw out a little bit of bait. And a mistake that a lot of people make is they go fishing with a baseball bat. Hey, come here! Look at this! I gotta show you this! This is incredible! You can make a fortune! You know? and they beat people up. No, it's just, hey, Jeremy, let me ask you a question. You and I are buddies, right? Do I have enough credibility with you for you to take a look at a 2-minute video and give me your honest opinion?
Yeah,
of course, right, guys? Yeah. That's an exposure. There are a lot of ways. Jeremy and I are going to talk about ways to do this in a little bit. But the first thing is you have to set your goals. You have to determine how many people a day am I going to show this to? How many people a week? How quickly am I going to do that? And we're going to give you a plan to follow in just a little bit. So the number one basic fundamental is to set your goals. The second fundamental is to make your list. In order to share it with people, you got to have a list of people. And I want to tell you, we used to tell people, get out the phone book, go from A to Z. Everybody knows at least 500, 1,000 people, right? We need you to make a list of 200 people. Who's your chiropractor? You know, go from A to Z. Who's your accountant? Who's your banker? Who's your chiropractor? Who's your dentist? Right? And you go through all these different letters, and by the time you finish, it's called making a list. We teach people how to make a list. Well, here's what I found out. In all my training years, very few people ever did that. You know, I was shocked one day. My daughter, when she was 19 years of age, started selling Cutco knives. And I came home from a business meeting late. It was like 2 a.m. And I see her bedroom light is on. So I go to the bedroom. I open the door. I go, Dana, what are you doing? And I'm looking down at her. She's on the floor and there's papers all over the place. And she goes, Dad, I'm making my list. I go, awesome. How many names you got on the list? She goes, 700. I said, what? I haven't been able to get adults to do that. You made a list of 700 names. See, that company has phenomenal training. They motivate people. They teach them what to do. But you got to have a list. Your list is your inventory. If you run out of a list, a lot of people say, oh, I'm in the NFL. I got no friends left. You know, well, heck, make new friends. You know, by the way, old friends could be new friends again. You have friends. Don't be negative. There are plenty of people out there. I used to crack up when people say, well, who am I going to talk to? Well, you know, I've already talked to everybody. And I laugh when I hear that and I get sarcastic. I have a sarcastic sense of humor. I go, hey, man, check this out. I got an idea. Let's go to this planet. It's called Earth. And there's billions of people there. Let's go there and show those guys, right? What do you mean you ran out of people? There's people all over the place. Look to the left, look to the right. There's people everywhere. If you have somebody telling you they ran out of people, it's because they're suffering from what's called stinking thinking. And I tell them, look in the mirror, as I learned from Zig, look in the mirror, give yourself a checkup from the neck up because you're suffering from stinking thinking. You know, you always have to have a list. Your list has to be always evolving. Names just pop into my head. You see this phone right here? I don't know about you, but I got over 2,000 friends in this phone. I don't know about you, but I got close to 5,000. I'm almost maxed out on my Facebook. You know, you should have at least 200, 300, 400, 500 names. Now, when you start out, don't overwhelm people. Here's what you do. Make a list of your top 20. Just make a list of your hot market. And we're going to start with them. Then we'll go to the warm market. And by the way, you do have hundreds. You probably have at least 500 to 1,000 warm market contacts. When we get into lukewarm market, that's referral. We're not even cover that now. When you get into cold market, that's systems. That's lead generation. Personally, I would tell you wait on that. Let's go through your hot market and your warm market first. Then we'll start considering other stuff later on. And then the third thing is become a product of the product, right? We have this most incredible product, but here's the cool thing about it. It's being developed as we speak. Now, understand, this is a mistake that a lot of people are making. They think that, well, and you've probably heard this, well, what am I spending $38 a month for if I can't get the product? Well, the charter membership is a product. There are a lot of additional benefits. And we're going to have the app for the vendor network right away. There's other stuff that's going to be coming. But what you're doing right now by getting involved at this stage of the game is you're buying into the innovators and visionaries concept. You're a pioneer, and you realize that we have to build the network first before we can bring the product to market. So we're in the process of doing that with the charter membership. And the charter membership, I want you to think about what's called the Everything Store. There's a great book out there, by the way. You should read it. It's called The Everything Store. And it's written about and by Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon.com. And Amazon, today it's the Everything Store. But think about it. When they started out, what were they? They were just a bookstore. And they kept adding value, adding value, adding value. The network that we're about to build with the RNetwork is in the process of doing the same thing. The first product we're coming to market is this incredible revvcard, right? But you're going to see as we grow the network, the bigger we get, the better it gets, the more deals we're going to get, the better the value. The value is we're going to have added value propositions as we grow this thing. But you're here right now. So become a product of the product. How do you do that? By plugging in, by doing exactly what you're doing right now, learning more, answering the questions. We should all be able to, when we first looked at that video, how many of you could have identified every single part of that card? You should be able to now. You should be able to talk about the magnetic strip, the biometric scanner. You should be able to talk about the mic, the speaker, the GPS tracking, the Bluetooth feature, everything that card has. You should be able to tell a story. How that little LED screen is just like the Apple Watch, right? 1.7 inches, and that it's durable just like the Apple Watch. Because you're going to get, and I've gotten this numerous times. You're going to get some people. Well, how durable is the product? If I put it in my back pocket, and I sit on it, will it break? No, I mean, the product is going to be extraordinarily durable. The screen is just like the Apple Watch. Matter of fact, it's the same exact technology. So you should be able to learn the components of the product, become a product of the product, right? And right now, it's just learning about it. As we get that, as we start to use the app download is coming. We start to use it. Now you really start to become a product of the product. And what you want to do is you want to lurk at stores that you shop at, items that you want to buy, and start buying them, start saving money, start telling people stories about how you're saving the money. That's how you become a product of the product. Guys, these are the three basic fundamentals of network marketing. And with us, it's simple. Set your goals, make your list, and become a product of the product. Just keep referring back to this. This is all you have to do. And so now let's talk about setting our goals. With our company, this is the most incredible comp plan I have ever seen. Because of the product, because of the price points, this is the easiest thing I've ever seen. Because of that video, this is the easiest thing I've ever seen. Get free, it's better than free. We call this your 72-hour fast start training because everything we're talking about you should do in your first 72 hours. You should accomplish this. Number 2, get 10 in the pen in these first 72 hours. That should be your goal. Your goal should be to show 20 people. Now, Jeremy, I'm going to ask you, right? Out of the first 20 people that you showed, approximately how many signed up?
All of them. With this,
I love it. I love what Sean Gary said when we first started doing this. He showed that video to 10 people and 9 people wanted in. I've never seen anything like it. That little 2-minute video, our closing ratios are through the roof. So how do you get your 3 is better than free? You show 20 people. How do you get your 10 in the pen? If half of them sign up, you made it. Congratulations. You became a founding member. This should be your goal, guys, right away within the first 72 hours. And then what you want to do is you want to learn this. You want to do it and you want to teach it. It's very simple, guys. You can see I'm a simplistic thinker. You can see I love the Trinity. I love 3 things. I love when you look. You should Google this. You should YouTube this. The magic of 3 and see everything in the world that comes in 3s. It's just amazing. Guess what we have? We have the most incredible, amazing compensation plan. It's a 3x10 affinity with 10 tiers, 3x10 matrix that. Oh my goodness. I don't want to present the opportunity here. This is just incredible, guys. So learn it, do it, and teach it. Set your goals, become a product of the product, make your list, become a product of the product, and that's all we do. It's very, very simple. Don't get complicated in the how. When the why is big enough, the how will follow. You're going to learn the how. The how is simple. You're going to learn techniques. You're going to learn from me what I call magic questions. I'll just throw one out there for the heck of it. One of my favorite magic questions has always been, hey, Jeremy, let me ask you a question. Are you open to the idea of making more money above and beyond what you're currently making?
Absolutely. Yeah.
See, guys, that question's a magic question. When you hear me reference the word magic question, it's time tested to get over 90% of the time people saying yes. And that's all you have to do. If they say yes, hey, Jeremy, do I have enough credibility with you to take a look at a 2-minute video?
Sure. Yeah.
Of course. Bang. Little things like that just to get them to take a look. Once they take a look, you don't have the mistake a lot of people make is they pitch the deal up front before they prospect the person. Prospect the person first. Get them to say yes to watch a video. Once they watch the video, they're going to ask the good questions. Then you can bring them to the information and start explaining it. All you want to do is get people to watch that video. Show it to 20 people, you should get your 10. So we're going to talk about this advanced building strategy. And then, Jeremy, you and I are going to banter back and forth, and we'll probably talk about a whole bunch of stuff that's linking all this stuff together, right? So my advanced building strategy, you don't have to do this, guys. This is just a strategy. You probably should do it, but you don't have to do this, right? Is 10 to the fourth power, 10 to the fourth power, 10 who get 10 who get 10 who get 10. Well, 10 who get 10 is 100. 100 who get 10 is 1,000. 1,000 who get 10 is 10,000. Where would you be if you had 10,000 charter members on your team? This is an advanced building strategy, by the way, for charter members. I'm looking for 10 people to duplicate what I do. That's what I'm looking for. There's a lot of people that are listening to this right now. You know who you are. I don't want to name names right now. Oh, yes, I do. I mean, just people that I work with constantly. You know, John Stahl, man, just killing it. He's at Edward Gary, just killing it. Jason Sloan, just killing it. I mean, Sean Gary, just killing it. I just don't want to. I don't want to stop. You know, I don't want to. I'm gonna have to go look at my. Okay, where's my list? I go down my list, right, and all the people that I've personally enrolled that are just killing this thing. You know. Okay, so let's stop right there. You don't have to, in day one, get 10 who get 10. Who get 10? This happens over time. But if this is your building strategy, 10 who get 10 who get 10 who get 10, how much money are you making if you have 10,000 charter members on your team? Just think about it. I'm not telling you this is going to happen for you, but I will tell you this. It's not going to happen if you don't consider it. It's not going to happen if you don't go after it. But if you have a plan of action, this is my plan of action. I'm looking for 10 people to duplicate what I do. I'm looking for 10 people who get 10, who get 10, who get 10 to the fourth power. Everything else will take care of itself. Matter of fact, when you look at it, you know, when you first get started and you get your 10 right away, and a lot of people have done it in their first day, then I would say to you, help 3 others do the same thing. Help 3 of your people that you just brought in get their 10. That's where your focus should go. Your focus should go, okay, I get 10 real easy. Now let me duplicate myself. Let me work with these people. Don't stop recruiting. Keep doing that. But also spend time now helping other people's, teaching them the strategy that you just learned and how you're having the success. Guys, really that's all there is to it. You know, as the great Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. If you don't buy into this, if you don't set a goal, if you don't write it down, if you don't speak it out into the universe, if you don't say, I'm going to get my 10 in my first 3 days. Now, you know what's going to happen to some people? They're not going to do it in 72 hours. That's okay. Guess what? Every day is a brand new day. Set another 72-hour fast start. Guess what? You got your 10. Set another 72-hour fast start. Go get another 10. Got those 10. Set another. What are your long-term goals? What are your long-term objectives? One of the gentlemen who's on my team who's not actively engaged yet, but he signed up. When he does, I can't wait to see what he does, because this guy, you know, recruited more people than I've ever seen by any one person in networking. We're talking well over 1,000 personals. So we got an opportunity here, guys. The whole world's waiting to hear. Let's just go make it happen. So Jeremy, you and I were talking yesterday about, you know, what do you say? What do you do? You know, all that kind of stuff. And I think I covered some of it in today's training. But I like to keep things simple. I like to just first get them to watch the video, and there are a lot of ways to do that. My favorites, by the way, are using Messenger and using texting, not even calling them up, using Messenger and using texting. And after one of the training calls I did this week, somebody hit me up on Messenger and asked, if I had a script. I don't like to provide people with scripts because you want to be authentic. You want to be yourself. You want to say the thing. And for every prospect, it's a different. Heath, you're on the line, right? Heath, a friend of mine who's in the, I'm just thrilled to be working with Heath, right? So Heath is a friend of mine for a long time, and I went to call him, and the phone didn't seem to be working. So I just hit him up with a message, and I think it went like this. I said, hey Heath, what's your phone number? We have to talk. Your financial future depends on it. Call me. And right away he called me. I said, look, dude, I just got a 2-minute video you got to see. He looked at the video. He said, I'm in. I mean, that's how it's happening, guys. Just personalize the message to somebody. You have friends. You have people they know you. You want to get this information to them as soon as possible. That's just one little technique. The opinion approach works. Can I get your opinion? You take a look at this. Can I get your opinion? The magic question approach works. There's a whole slew of magic questions I can give you, but you have to be authentic, be yourself. And so, hey, Jeremy, man, I nailed that in about a half hour. That's pretty good.
That was awesome. Cool. No, that amazing. I mean, just all the tidbits there. Just golden nuggets dropping left and right. Hope you guys all took notes. And good thing we're recording this because, I'm going to go back and I'm going to re-listen myself here. That was really awesome. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's good stuff. So one of the things, I guess when people, I don't know, let's just assume, right? Somebody's just brand new into this, right? And so maybe they don't have a whole lot of contacts on their phone. I'm thinking like, okay, what my wife, right? Right now, she's probably got maybe 20, 30 people on her phone, not a ton of people. I've got thousands, right? But she's only got maybe 20, 30 people. She's brand new. She's not doing that. So I'm thinking, okay, what could somebody like my wife do? If she's like, so you're right. We've got the warm or the hot market, right? Her friends, people she works with. I think she could get probably at least 3 people, to do this with her, just based on that one magic question, right? Hey, do I have enough credibility with you? If I showed you a video, would you watch it? Right? That question, I bet she could do that with the ladies that she works with, and they would do it. And in fact, she's done it. And it was funny because the one joke in the industry is is my wife going to let me do this, right? Right? I got to ask the spouse question, and so with this, what I found is so amazing is just my excitement, just it's contagious. And so she did that, even though she kind of just lets me do this as a hobby, right? That's kind of what she treats it. It's my fake job, right? That's what she calls it. So like, but still because I'm so enthusiastic about it, it's contagious. She went and talked to some of the ladies that she works with, and now they're asking questions and wanting to know more. And so my wife had to say, hey, where's the video? They're asking me I had to text it to her, and so she could share it with the ladies at her work. And this is the first time my wife in more than 20 years has actually engaged and participated in one of the things I've been doing. So that's the power of what we have here. It's amazing. Anybody can do this. It's so awesome.
So I'm gonna give you some ideas, and there are people here that are internet marketers, and they know how to do that. And I know, Jeremy, you do a lot of stuff with that, and I'm exploring that venue, by the way. Even though I have close to $5,000 Facebook friends, 5,000. Did I say $5,000? 5,000 Facebook friends. It's because I've been a networker, right? But now I'm starting to explore, the possibilities there because I think it's a phenomenal tool and a way to go. But there's that warm market credibility. So I'm going to teach another technique. So and I used to teach high tech, no check. That's what I used to teach. I think we've advanced beyond the 10, 15 years ago technology things that were being done, because for me, it's always belly to belly. So what I learned is that, you could turn the average no into, on average, 3 leads. And it's real simple. Somebody says no to you, I'm not interested. And let's just say we're buddies at work, and you say, for whatever reason, it's not for you. I say, hey, Jeremy, I appreciate that. Let me ask you a question. Who do you know? You want to write that down. Who do you know? Just write that down. Who do you know? And say, hey, Jeremy, who do you know that's like really entrepreneurial? I mean, who do you know that is a go-getter? They're always looking to make money. They're an entrepreneur. Who do you know that just got married? Who do you know that's into home-based businesses? Just give me a few names of the people I promise I won't embarrass you. I'm just going to show them that 2-minute video like I showed you. And if they like what they see, and some of them will, I'll thank you. Matter of fact, I'll take you out to lunch. I'll treat you out to lunch. How's that? Give me just a few of your contacts in your phone that are might like something like this. So you never get that if you don't ask for it. So I'm going to tell you one of my experiences, which was amazing. I presented to a young guy that was in that his job was in the benefits arena. And I asked him for a referral, right? I asked him for the referrals just like I did with you just there. This guy gave me his entire Rolodex. He gave me 700 names of his coworkers and their cell phones. Wow. Is that a gold mine? Because when you have a person that is a mutual contact, it's not a cold lead now. Now it's a lukewarm lead, right? It's lukewarm. We have the same friend, and I'll share a technique that some people could just be dropped off in any city, in any town, without knowing a single person, and they'll build a successful business.
Richard's calling me.
He's calling right now. Does he want to jump on? Does he realize we're doing this? So anyway, guys, while Jeremy's doing that, I mean, just imagine this. And by the way, I've worked with pastors, and pastors of churches are just great people because they know the community. They have a sphere of influence. And if I knew nobody, right, and you said, hey, I'm going to drop you off in Tupelo, Mississippi, or wherever, right, what I would do is I'd go to the local church, and I'd offer to take the pastor out for lunch. And over lunch, I'd show him the 2-minute video. Hey, Jeremy, I'm just sharing a technique.
Okay.
And so I was saying that if you drop me off in any town that I knew nobody, I would look for the local church, and I'd find who the pastor is, and I'd offer to take him out to lunch. And I'd say, hey, Pastor Jones, my name is Ed Terranova. I'm in from out of town. I'm looking to meet a lot of people. I'd love to take you out for lunch, if that's okay with you. Do you like a free meal? And of course there'd be a little chit chat and small talk before that. But over lunch, I'd say, hey, Pastor, we're expanding a new business. It's a fintech. By the way, this is the word I use, Jeremy. I'm not sure what you're using. It's a fintech startup, and we're looking for a few really entrepreneurial people in the area. And I'd love to show you a little 2-minute video. We'll have lunch. And let me know, who do you know that's entrepreneurial? Who do you know that might be in a position where they need something or they would like what they'd see? Now, with this video, chances are the pastor is going to have a high level of interest and sign up himself, right? But all I'm looking for is a few referrals. And if he gives me 5 names or 3 names or 10 names, I go to the first person. Let's say he gives me Mary, and I call Mary. And I do the same thing. I offer to have a cup of coffee with her. I say, hey, Mary, you don't know me. I'm new in town, but I was talking to Pastor Jones, and he told me that you're an entrepreneurial type of person. Can we get together for a cup of coffee? Now, maybe I wouldn't even do that. Maybe I just do it right over the phone. Maybe I just say, do you have 2 minutes that I can show you something? And Mary says, sure. I say, are you in front of a computer? Go to this website. Bang. If you like, and here's a great phrase, and I would suggest you guys write this down because it works like a gem. It helps me transition from point to point to point. And that is, if you like what you see, and I think that you will, we'll take the next step. And if it's not for you, that's okay too. Fair enough? Great. Mary says yes. I show her the video. Now, whether Mary joins or not, what am I going to do? I'm going to ask her, who do you know?
Yeah.
And if you keep asking that question, you're never going to run out of people to talk to. You don't know it unless you try it. And I'm telling you, it works. I'm telling you, you never have to pay for leads. All you have to do is learn how to master that question. Who do you know? And what happens when somebody says no to you and they like you, and they actually saw some validity in the video you just showed them, is they feel bad that they're saying no. And they want to help you. So they give you some names of some people.
Yeah.
You will never run out of people to talk to if you just learn that one simple technique. Is that good or is that good?
Oh, love it. Love it. Yep. Yeah, it goes right along with another technique I like to talk about, which is the posturing, right? The posturing in the industry. Because a lot of times that's kind of what people do is they get to a point where they're a little bit desperate. And so you start to beg, right? You start to beg people. So when you're talking to somebody and you're just like, oh, yeah, and they give you an excuse. They'll give you some kind of excuse.
I'll pay you way in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just say, oh, I can't afford it, or I need to talk to the spouse, or just whatever it is. Right? I don't have enough time, or there's all these excuses that they give, and so the initial reaction that most people have is to try and resolve that, right? And say, oh, well, if you don't have time, I'll help you. I can handle stuff with you, or oh, I can't afford it. Okay, don't worry, I'll get you on this one. I'll cover it for you. Or oh, I got to talk to the spouse, and you say, no, don't talk to your spouse because they're going to shoot you down, and you're never. So you try and make up for it, right? And when you do that, you're giving them the power. You're putting the power in their hands. And that's never good because now they feel empowered to say no, right? But if you have the posturing, like you just basically have to let them know that they're going to miss out, right? So if they say, oh, well, I can't afford it, then you say, oh, okay, no worries. You know what? It's all good. I've got hundreds of people I'm talking to right now that, they're interested in stuff. So thanks so much. If you have anybody, like you're saying, that might be interested, hey, send them my way. We're doing this. This is rocking and rolling. And thanks for your time, right? Well, now you didn't give them power, right? What you did is you made them feel like, oh, I'm missing out. Uh-oh, what am I missing out on? This is so big, he didn't even try and beg me to come in. Oh, right. Or the spouse one, right? Oh, I got to talk to my spouse. Okay, yeah, go talk to your spouse. That's great. I'm sure she's going to love it. He's going to love it, whatever. That's awesome. Yeah, when you get done talking, let me know. We'll, I'll take you guys out to dinner. We'll talk about it, right? You keep that power to yourself, right? You maintain that posturing. And then, oh, I don't have time to do it. Oh, okay, no worries. You know what? I've got lots of people who are doing this and everything. And hey, you may want to consider if you don't have time, this is actually a good way to get some more time. So let me know when you're ready to have more time and, bye-bye, right? You hang up on them and they're like, whoa, wait a sec, wait, tell me more about it. So if you can maintain that posture with them, you will always get them to think about it twice and they'll come back to you, whether it's the next day.
I'll give you a couple of the posturing things. And you always want to leave off in a friendly manner because you could get nasty and then you lost them forever, right? You don't want to get into a fight with anybody. One of the posturing things I say, hey, that is great, man. Timing is everything. Would it be okay if we stay in touch? I'll cheer you on, you cheer me on, or whatever you're doing, and down the road we'll just touch base and see how we're doing. And that way you leave the door open, or I'll say something to the effect of. I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you join us, but I don't need you. I don't need you to join. I'd love to work with you, but I really don't need you. And if you like, again, I use that. If you like seeing, I think that you will. I use that just to soften it, make it real easy. This might be for you. It might not. Learn that phrase. Hey, this might be for you. It might not. But just let me know. Give me your honest opinion. And whatever they say, they're right. Don't fight them. Don't try to convince them. I could teach overcoming objections, and a lot of people don't. I don't, because what I learned is that when you're trying to overcome people's objections, you tend to get into a combative state, right? They're telling you the reasons why not, and you're trying to convince them why they should. And it's like a pushy salesperson trying to get the sale. I don't teach overcoming objections. I don't try to overcome objections. I'm looking for people who are in the right place at the right time. What I teach is that everybody's in the right place at the right time with our network. Whether it's the right time in your life, that's a whole nother story. Now, today might be the right time in your life, and it might not be. They might have just had something horrific. You ever notice that people sometimes are in a bad mood, they take it out on you? You know, they might just be in a bad mood for whatever reason. They might be in a bad mood all the time. It just might be them. You know, you're not going to change those people, but it might be that, you know, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, a month from now, it's a different story. Just keep the dialogue going. Be friendly. Be willing to say, hey, I appreciate you, man. I'd love to have you. I'd love to work with you, but you know, I don't really need you. We got stuff. I'll tell you, man, my plate is full. We're cranking. Jeremy, are we cranking or what? I mean, you and I were going back and forth. I think I slept 4 hours last night. You know, I was lucky to get that in. I was trying to get this PowerPoint done, and then I just got so exhausted. I texted you. You know, then I finished what I had to do and said, okay, let me get it done this morning. But we got phones ringing off the hook. We got stuff happening. It's just incredible. Love to have you on the team, but, you know, really don't need you.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. No, it is. It's awesome to see. I was just right before this webinar, I was doing my Spanish webinar, and we were just talking about how amazing this is, because it literally is so universal. When you think about what our product is, right? It is when people go shopping. I was talking about how, with my parents, right? With my mom. My mom, she's the #1 shopper, right? She spends all my dad's money. And so, you know, typically in network marketing, like approaching my mom about something, you know, there's no way, right? She's tried to support me in other things in the past or whatever, but she's just never got into it. But now I can tell her, hey, you know, we got this revvcard. You know, isn't that cool? And she wants one, right? Obviously. And she's like, so I can put all my other cards on there. And I'm like, yeah, you can. Okay. And then I'm going to save money when I go shopping. Yeah, you are. Oh, okay. So we literally have a universal, everybody goes shopping, right? Anybody and everybody goes out and spends money on a daily basis. There's just, you know, there's only so many people they're trying to lose weight. There's only so many people that are trying to learn Forex. There's only so many people who, you know, are trying to be healthy. There's only so many people who are, you know, just these different things that are out there in other traditional network marketing companies, right? There's only so many people that travel, you know, whatever. But everybody literally on the planet goes shopping every day, right? This is the most universal thing you could ever hope for. And so I can talk to my grandpa, right? Say, hey, do you go shopping? You know, yeah, okay, let's get you one of these cards. I can talk to my 18-year-old son. Say, hey, you know, he's got a little debit card, you know. And I say, what do you buy? Oh, I buy video games. You know, I buy Xbox games. Okay, cool. I can make money when my son's going shopping buying Xbox games, right? And it's that universal. It's so cool. It's almost, I mean, it's funny that we even have to have this whole hour-long conversation about recruiting because it's so easy.
So the product is a dream come true. You know, I like to say, you know, whether you're 18 or 118, if you're functional and you're going out there and you're buying stuff and you're paying for gas and you're picking up laundry and you're picking up milk and you go into the supermarket and you go into Walmart, wherever you shop, what are you doing? You're using their credit card, right? Every single one of those person is a possibility that they would like this card. You know, and as a matter of fact, if they watch the video, the large majority are intrigued by it. I've never seen anything like it. This product is absolutely the best product. I mean, this is like custom made for network marketing. And we talk big game, right? I think we're not only going to revolutionize the network marketing industry, but from what I'm hearing, we're probably going to revolutionize the banking industry too. I mean, those are two bold statements that most people can't even, you know, venture to imagine. But I learned to be a big thinker. You know, if you don't think big, you won't achieve big. You got to think big. And I look at it and go, why not? I mean, it all makes sense. Let's go do it. We're looking for willing participants, right? We're not looking for people who got to drag across the finish line. By the way, that's one of the things you want to look for. I was going to incorporate into the training today, and I'll touch it real quick, is that number one, exposure is everything. Number two, fortune is in the follow-up. And number three, work with the willing. Because if you're trying to convince people and you're trying to do it for them, man, it'll wear you out. Those people will wear you out. Work with the willing. Your phone rings and they're excited, work with them. Your phone rings and they're whining and complaining. We have voicemail for a reason. You see that number come in? Nope. They're always complaining to me. I ain't picking up the phone. You know, you got to make it. This one of my mentors that's the founder and the CEO of a company, said, you have to make it pleasurable for me to want to be with you.
Absolutely.
Because if it's not pleasurable to be with you, I don't want to be with you.
Yep. Exactly.
You know?
No, yeah. One little tidbit too. I know we're coming up at the end of the hour. So the other thing that's really important, and what I like to teach, is the idea of the attraction marketing, or the magnetic marketing, or the influencer model. All right. A lot of people I just wanted to tell a quick story. It's very interesting, because a lot of people are scared to talk to people. Right. I know that they're nervous. They've got anxiety issue, whatever it is. Right. And so, like me and you, we have no problem. Talk to somebody in the grocery store, to the checkout, whatever. Right. We'll talk to them. But some people are a little bit timid. They're shy. Right. And so one of the strategies that can work for anybody that's a little bit more on that side of things is, this influencer model, the attraction marketing. And I'll just tell you the story this last week, because we do these YouTube things, right? I put the video on my YouTube channel, right? And I don't know how many subscribers I have. It's probably a couple thousand subscribers on my YouTube channel, but that doesn't matter. It gets out there, right? And so we have social media. A lot of people love to be on Twitter. They love to be on Facebook. They love to be on, YouTube, whatever it is. Everybody's, especially millennials nowadays, are, especially the timid ones, they're hiding behind that, right? A little bit more. And so if you're that kind of way, and you love to be on social media, but you're timid talking to people in person, well, guess what? I had an amazing experience where a gentleman, he saw my video on YouTube. Okay. And so here I am, right? I'm trying to contact all these people, sending it out to people, contact on the messenger and everything. But and it takes time, right? It takes time. You have to talk to them. You set up a call. You do all these things. Well, I literally had a guy just this last week who, because I put the video out on my YouTube, he saw that video. I had put my phone number, in my YouTube channel. So he sent me a text message and he said, "Hey, Jeremy, I just watched your video. Can I sign up with you, please? Send me your link." I instantly sent him my link, and he's signed up like that, and he's already starting to build. I've never talked to him ever again. I didn't have to do a three-way call with him. I didn't have to get him on the phone with my leader and all this stuff. I didn't have to show him a webinar. None of that. He literally saw my 2-minute video on my YouTube. I sent him one single text with my link. He signed up and he's going. And
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, literally, it was like, holy cow. And that's happened to me multiple times in my career. That wasn't the first time. That was just one example of many times that people just happen to come across my stuff. They contacted me, they signed up, and they go. And
that's the incredible thing about the technology, and that's why I'm moving into it, because I'm watching you, and I'm grabbing some of the stuff you're doing. And the other day I saw a card you put out there, and it said, "Ask me how, swipe and make money, whatever." So I posted it. I just copied you, and within 5 minutes, I get a phone call from a friend of mine that it goes like this: "What are you doing?" I go, "What do you mean? Did you see that post I put?" He goes, "Yeah, what are you doing?" So I took maybe 5 minutes to tell him what it was, not more than 5 minutes. He said, "How do I sign up?" I mean, that was it. That was it.
Yeah. Because what happens is when they call you, that wall is gone, right? When you're reaching out to somebody, it's the automatic sales shield that goes up, right? "Oh, I don't want to be sold. I don't want to be sold," right? But if you put something out there and they see it and they're attracted to it and they then open it up, they're the one contacting you. Oh, that shield is gone. They're just, it's all over. Right?
And a $38 price point right now is ridiculous, right? People are just going to jump in left and right. It's happening. So it's so much fun, man. It's when you talk about attraction marketing, believe it or not, I'm a shy individual. I know that's hard to imagine, right? But I am. I really keep to myself. I mean, I worked out at a gym probably for about 15 years, and I think I might have conversed with 5 people. I mean, I go to the gym, I get my workout in. I'm very much, I don't need a lot of people. Some people just social butterflies. One of my friends at the gym, one of those guys, like the mayor, knows everybody, talks to everybody, but really I'm pretty low key. And what I learned through Zig was when you talked about, people, what I learned is people respond in like kind. So when I was studying Zig, I used to run around my high school track in Staten Island my high school, the school, which was close to a mile run. And every morning at the same time, there'd be this group of women that were walking, and they'd be walking one way, and I purposely would go in the opposite direction. And every time I saw them, I'd go, "Good morning," just to see the response. And one of them, "Oh, good morning," Over time, man, these women love to see me. Oh, good morning, good morning. Everybody's saying good morning, right? So one time there's this old dude jogging, and I go, "Good morning," and he just ignores me. Come around, I'm running like 3 miles. I come around the second time he's there. I go, "Hey, good morning." Nothing. Third time jogging around, I go, "Good morning." He goes, He gives me a grunt, But it's so much fun. I mean, Zig used to go and tell a story about being in an elevator, and it's in the evening. And he'd say, "Good morning." And people would respond in like kind of go, "Good morning." "Oh, it's not the morning. It's night, You reach out your hand to somebody, they'll shake your hand. You smile at somebody, they'll smile back. People respond in like kind. So that's how you become attractive. You be a person that's happy, that's motivated, that's energetic, that's cheerful. People want to follow. You remember, this is a people business, right? If you're talking to people, people want to follow winners. They want to follow people who know where they're going. They want to follow people who have certainty, who have posture. If you're unsure, you show doubt, or you say like people on social media, just I really think some people really don't think that much. They say the stupidest stuff on Facebook. They're complaining about this, they're complaining about that, they're cursing here, they're cursing there. I'm going, really? Do you think that's attracting people? That's repulsing people. People don't want to be around people who are always whining, complaining, talking about people negatively. People want to hang around people who are fun, who are enjoyable, right? So it's a golden rule in life, right? Do unto others as you want done unto you. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Just be fun. Just be your authentic self. Be a person that loves people, and it comes right back at you. You're attractive. That's attraction marketing. In a personal level. Just be the person that you want other people to be.
Absolutely. Love it. All right. Well, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. So any concluding thoughts?
Yeah. We're working together with so many great people that I'm challenging everybody. Perform at your highest level. Reach down deep. I heard this term once, and we'll kind of leave it off with this. I heard this term once. First time I heard it, I'm going to tell a story. That first company I went was in New Skin International, right? So this guy, Richard Call, was one of the top 4 money earners in the company. And I ended up, somehow I got his phone number, and I was way down in his downline. I called him up, and at first he was like trying to rush me off the phone. But then when he heard my excitement and enthusiasm, he started to talk to me. And I was shocked. This guy who's making incredible money, multimillionaire, is talking to me, right? And he said something in that conversation that also shocked me at the time. He said, "Ed, you have to be obsessed. If you want to succeed, you have to be obsessed. You have to wake up thinking about it. You got to go to sleep thinking about it. You got to eat it, breathe it, live it." Now, for a lot of people, that's a scary commitment. But this is what I learned, is that another gentleman who was between me and him said this, which was kind of vulgar at the time for me. He said, "You got to reach down your throat, grab your guts, and squeeze." He said, "You got to push yourself beyond your limitations. You got to do more than you ever thought you were capable of. If you want to knock this thing out of the park, you want to think about the top achievement in your life and blow it away. Crush it. Go out there and achieve." I've always believed we save the best for last. The best is yet to come. Guys, this is it. I've spent over 30 years preparing for this moment. I recognize it. This is it. This is it. That's why, Jeremy, at 1:30 in the morning, I texted you. That's why a lot of us are having, our arsomnia,
Yep. Arsomnia, I love it.
But that's all I leave you off with, man. Go for it. Rip it up. Crush it. Perform at your highest level ever.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much, Ed. Appreciate everybody that joined us today. This is the most exciting thing I've ever been involved with in over 20 years. We're just, the excitement is palpable. So guys, get out there, take advantage of these next few weeks as we're doing soft launch. When the pre-launch starts, it will absolutely dominate the industry. You guys will see some of the big major leaders that are coming in, making moves. It's going to be exciting. So this is our year, guys. Let's take advantage of it. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next week. God bless.
Thank you, Jeremy. Take
Bye-bye.
care.